Hello, Inez. How are you?
I'm really good. Even though it's about only 7:30, the sunrise is just happening outside the window. It's beautiful.
And I'm in Malaysia, where I'll be in bed within half an hour because it'll soon be midnight. Isn't it amazing? We're all time travelers these days.
Yeah, we are. And it's amazing because we talk to anywhere and everywhere in the world today. And a few years ago that was there, and it's just become the norm. It's always
I
good.
know. So it's so much easier to talk about people talking on different dimensions this way, as well as talking around the world that way.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm joining me for today is I'm having people ask me about the Simpson Protocol and the training in Dubai in a few weeks. And they want to know a little bit more about what makes it different to normal hypnosis, or what we think of as hypnosis, and the work we do mostly in somnambulism. And what is this thing, the superconscious mind, that you talk about? So if we can just spend 5 minutes on that so people can know what they'll be buying into when they come.
Well, superconscious mind is a very important aspect of what we do. And superconscious mind, I'll have to give you a definition, what it terms in Simpson Protocol terms, because a lot of us use the words and constructs. They're all constructs because we need language to talk to each other. And so to me, when I started working with the superconscious, it was a part of us that knew everything or could connect to everything. It was the collective unconscious. It was anywhere information was got. That's how you get it, through your mind and body and spirit, really. Because so Simpson Protocol uses that in a way that most people, I haven't, maybe one person that has had not gone in deep enough to go into that. We go past somnambulism, or at least a very profound somnambulism. And then from there, we may go to Esdale if it's proficient, if it's apparently easy for the client in the first session. And if it isn't, we just work it very profound. From there, we go to another level where we call it high. And these are all just constructs because we need a label for the client to have and us to have. So in high, what high means is it's got guidance present. Doesn't mean there's going to be an angel. I'm not telling them they're going to have guides there. I'm not telling them any of that. But what does show up, shows up, because it's their mind creating it, not me or connecting to it. So it's not led at all, totally leading free. It's very led in a way that it's only guided to let your mind do what it needs to do. So when it's connected, and it's changed so much since last time I taught it at your place, because it evolves every class we do. And it's kind of what we consider, if you were, everybody considers it a spiritual thing because we work as superconscious and all these things. I only consider it holistic because I like to work with the body, mind, and spirit. So that's the difference. It isn't just spiritual. So if your aspect is that you want a spiritual thing, yes, it's spiritual. It also does physical things. It does everything. So superconscious has the knowledge, and the person's mind leads the whole session. So that aspect of them leads the whole section. So superconscious leads the whole session, where we are not having to make any judgments. We're not having to think of what to do next because it tells us what to do next. It's totally led by their mind. And then, yes, we ask. And the only thing we do is ask questions. And if they're pertaining to them, the superconscious mind says, yes, that needs work. And then we do that. And it's very easy because once you have the structure of it, you can start free flowing. You can start addressing things from the client if they have told you stuff. But in class, or you see me at a convention, I never ask them what we're working on. I don't even know because that's totally internal.
Yeah, when I use Simpson Protocol, mostly it's because the person doesn't want to tell me what's going on. They'd rather do the internal work. It's none of my business.
Yeah.
Hey, let's this thing I know called the Simpson Protocol, and it's yours. And afterwards, if you want to tell me, and they often do actually afterwards, they'll
They
talk
do
about their
afterwards, but
experience.
the debriefing, you get more information on a debrief than you ever do on the beginning, usually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's really interesting because they're blown away that their own mind is presenting them with all these answers and things, you know. And it's very profound change can happen. It also can be totally mind-blowing for a client who's never done anything else before, because they'll suddenly have all these things happen in their mind that they know are and everyone's different, because if you go like me, you know what I'm like. I don't have a lot of visuals, I don't have a lot of things, but for me it's all about knowing things and feeling things. So every client, as usual, will still have a totally different way of looking at it. So I always say to hypnotists, you have to be very careful in any kind of hypnosis to think they'll react like you, because it'll be totally different from them than it was for you. It's different for every single person. Don't and especially with people who are visual, they tend to talk in visual language. So it's Superconscious Mind. We keep it as clean a language as we can. You know, sometimes we slip. You know, it's pretty forgiving, but we don't want to lead the client who's listening into a place that they are expecting to get something that they don't that they can't allow. You know, for me, I get visuals in different ways if sometimes, but you got to be careful with your language. It's clean language. There's no judgment in it, and you can get a great outcome because you haven't told them what they're going to get. They're going to get something more because you keep pushing for more in the session. My job is to make sure they get what I call the full meal deal. And, you know, most of us accept better, right? Oh, I feel better. Yeah, that's good. I'll feel better. And
Yeah, they come with one outcome, but
yeah.
actually they get something. Continue it on your own just a little bit, maybe about other things that you've added now.
Yeah, there's well,
Yeah.
we have you know, people always say, well, what can I use it for? And I say everything. So it doesn't matter if you use it on a physical level for whatever the issue is. You can use the Superconscious Mind and the other levels of trance that we use. And we have healing levels, and we have some that have gone beyond. It's not beyond, it's just different doors. I always say it's just like going through different doorways and seeing different people. So the superconscious has different aspects nowadays than it did before. So we have these code names.
Do you use it now for birthing?
Yeah, we have a birthing program, we have a weight loss program, we have a smoking program for all the people who wanted to know exactly the structure of how you did it. And it's and we also have pro health, which we use quite a bit. And then we have the spiritual aspects of what to do with spiritual stuff. We have different programs. And in the 4-day, the last 2 days, you definitely use the advanced program, which is you learn most of those things. And then we do have the birthing and a few other things that are not taught in the class because it's way too big for that. And they can buy it online, that part. Everything else, we give them bonuses. I think as a bonus, I usually give them part of the medical program, which is called the pre and post-op stuff. So I usually give that out in class, so the formula of that. And then, so I really want to show them in the 4 days that how they use it and how easy it is to use for everything. So the importance is, though, that Superconscious has different aspects than it did before. It's not that it didn't have it before. It's just that we are learning more aspects of it as we work. You know, it's been quite a few years now. I think I started way back in 2005, starting with SP. Wasn't called that, and the reason it was called that, I think it was Leanne Ledbetter called it that, because she kept saying, well, we're using your protocol. we're calling it the Simpson Protocol. And I said, okay, that's, and it stuck after that. So those are it's just a very easy way that I know so many people, hypnotists, they'll say, well, I've got somebody coming for smoking. I better get my scripts out. I better do this. I better do that. And then when they come, they're there for something else. Right? How many times has that happened?
Yes.
Especially a guy comes in for erectile dysfunction or something. He doesn't want to tell you that till you get there. Well, suddenly your scripts go out the window and you think, what the heck? But when you're working with Simpson Protocol, you never have that because you just use it in the way that for each person. And it's so easy. It's the same. It's the easiest way. I have a guy that's in Perth in Australia, and he was a really good hypnotist. He's been for many years. He's probably maybe even longer than me. And I don't know, probably you've been doing it a little longer than me, I think. So, but he was a really good hypnotist. But he says the difference is now that he's using Superconscious Mind for everything. He's using it pretty well every single session in his practice. And he does 5 people a day as a norm. So
yeah,
that's a lot of people for me to think at 5, and you're doing that 5 days a week. So he's done a lot of Simpson Protocol, and he says what's the benefit is that he feels 10 years younger. He doesn't have any issues with having to decide anything. And he can work with anything where he might have turned them away and sent them, if it was a really big issue or whatever, he might have said, well, maybe you should go see a psychiatrist or a psychologist or something, all the things we've been told to do. So he says now he just does with SP, and he can do it because what we do is we work with issue till we get to the outcome desired. So it's not about we just keep working till it's done, and you don't have
removing the blocks. Yeah, removing the blocks.
Yeah, it's removing blocks and interference and all kinds of stuff because we're connected to everyone. People are starting to understand that. I mean, used to be that there was some of us that decided we were all connected, but other people didn't. We do surrogacy hypnosis. We do with animals. We do it with everything. So I had a client in yesterday, and we did that, and it was just off the cuff because they didn't tell me they were wanting that addressed, right? So when you have protocol, you don't get caught with your pants down. Does that sound bad?
No. It's exactly how it is.
Because I know when I used to work before, I mean, you and I are both Jerry kids, right? Where background is regression to cause and all that. And I've used that for years, and it's all implemented pretty much in the Simpson Protocol. And it's very easy. You have ab reactions now and then, just like everybody else, but they're usually very easy to cope with, and they're very small in general. In general, that's about, I would say, 97% of the time you have no ab reactions at all. And the other 2 are very small, and it's only a very small, minute area where people will have a big one. And those sometimes are the ones that they come in with right away. When you first put someone in hypnosis, and that's rare, but I've had some pretty major big ab reactions in those times. And sometimes, people don't know what to do with an ab reaction, and they think it's bad and they think it's terrible. But it really, if you stop an ab reaction, and well, it's a good thing to do if you don't know what you're doing. But if you let an ab reaction run, it's a big gift.
Yes, I agree. Yes, too many are trained to panic or don't allow an ab reaction. An ab reaction is scary, not at all.
I think the name is misnomer, don't you? An ab reaction. It's a reaction. It's just a reaction to what's in their mind and body and spirit, and what the trauma they've had and all the other things. And the whole idea is that you keep bottling it back up and putting it back in their body, mind, and spirit. So you got to learn that it's okay to have people that, and I don't call them ab reactions. I think they're reactions.
They are. They're the things that have been reacting all the time. My granny used to say, let it out.
Yeah, yeah, let it out.
Jerry would say, you've been a tough little soldier all your life,
Yeah,
fighting your own battles. Now let it out.
yeah,
Let it go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So to summarize, Simpson Protocol is simple for the practitioner, but great change in the client. There's no need to have loads and loads of books of scripts or anything else. It just takes them through their layers, gets rid of their blocks, and they come out feeling great.
And, you know, I don't, very rarely, I always suggest that they come for at least 3 sessions, because if you're going to work holistically, you want to get everything, adjacent issues, you want to get every little thing. So you may get your outcome even on the first session, but then after that, you're going to do the bolstering up, the cleaning up, and so that someone comes in and has complete change, not just the symptom disappear.
And you've done training all over the world. You have practitioners in South America, North America, Canada, Europe, a lot in Germany, a lot in Brazil, and all over the world, Australia.
Yeah, in Australia and New Zealand now. We may be even in Malaysia in the near future. It's a little out. It would be it may be a while yet, but it'll be. We may have a trainer there in maybe a year or so.
Okay, maybe you'll come out too. I have some very nice contacts here, very good people.
Well, it's it's moving in. It hasn't gone into Scandinavia yet, but that's going to come. We are, like you said, in Brazil. We're all over. In Europe, it's awesome. It's my second home and your second home. You go to Spain, I go to Belgium a lot more because I'm Belgian, but still, it's kind of nice to go all over. Oh, we're in the UK too, but so any English-speaking country for sure is where I go. and well, I'm going to Brazil, and that's Portuguese, so that's all by translator. So how that works, and it's really good because I have great people who learned it from me in English back watching my back.
And what I found using the Simpson Protocol, because I as a practitioner don't use a lot of words.
No.
The client doesn't have to have a very big spoken repertoire of English. If they've studied some English but they're shy about speaking it, it's okay, it's fine. Yep. Because superconscious, subconscious mind knows all the English you ever learn.
Well, the whole thing...
Feelings are beyond language anyway.
Well,
so,
we show in class that you can talk any language. It wouldn't matter. Once they're in hypnosis, because they consciously need to have something that they'll take them in, but you could always do an instant induction and move downwards from there. So
absolutely.
and not just that, and so we just take it one step further, and we do quite a bit of telepathic work. So, and most people say, "What? How can you do that?" Well, if you can talk a different language, there's no language needed.
Absolutely. So thank you very much. And you have dates there of when you're coming to Dubai?
Oh, my dates, Martin?
The 20th, 2021, 23.
Yeah, those are the dates. That's good.
November.
Yeah.
And the person to get in touch with is Christina. Christina's organizing things for us, and that's at hypnoberyl@gmail.com.
hypnoberyl@gmail.com.
That's right.
I know, I like them. So anyway, if they want any more information, they can just go to, Martin says he'll put it below, but he'll put all the information below.
Okay.
So that even the sound glitches or anything, it'll all be there. Okay. That's
and we will see you soon.
Looking forward to it.
Dubai.
Looking forward to
Lovely.
coming because it's getting to be winter here. Even though it's sunny, it's down to about, yesterday I think it went up to about 10 or 12 Celsius, but, was about 6 at night. So.
Well, we'll have to get you one of those T-shirts that says, the best summer I ever had was winter in Dubai.
Okay, yeah, I love winter in Dubai. Summer is a little too warm for me, but Anyway, love, I'll see you. I'm looking forward to seeing you and meeting some new people.
We're waiting. We're waiting for all the new stuff. Bye.
It's gonna be fun. Bye.
Bye.